Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. I'm doing the Quick 3. I usually call it the Quick 3 Tarot, but I've been using some Oracle cards and stuff, so here we are. As I always say with all the readings, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy and the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Also, the readings are up. All of the readings, because we're still in July, all the July readings are up. The general, the love, and the money for all of the signs. The August readings are up for all of the signs too. I uploaded those last week, and my goal, knock on wood, is to work on the love readings for all of the signs for August this weekend. So I plan on doing the August love readings for all of the signs this weekend, getting those recorded and done. Now, let's talk about this reading, which is for the collective. You know how sometimes when you go to a restaurant and you're going to be seated because you want to sit down, you want to eat. And they're like, "Oh, we're full right now." And then they give you this little thing that rings and starts lighting up and everything once your table is ready. I feel like that is the case for some of you, where you were looking to go to a restaurant to eat and you were looking to be seated right away, but you're not seated right away. So you're like, "Oh, I gotta wait." And then if it's a restaurant you really like, especially one of the ones in the mall or something like that, then you might end up waiting an hour. And you're like, "You know what? I'll suffer it because I really like this restaurant because they have great cheesecake." Shout out to the Cheesecake Factory. So I'm just going to deal with it. I'll wait the hour. But I'm in a mall. So you ask them, "How far can I go with this thing?" They're like, "Oh, you can go such and such." Okay. Let me go over to the store next door. And then you go to the store next door and you see that they were having a sale that you didn't know about. There was something on sale that you wanted beforehand. You had seen it before, but you just hadn't bought it. You were possibly planning on getting it because you wanted it. But it just so happens that at that time, when you were in the store, because they were full, they weren't ready to seat you, you happen to be in the store and you see the item you want and it's on sale for the best price it can possibly be. And you're like, while I'm here, let me pick up the item. I kind of feel that's the energy. Where it's adjacent possibilities. Sometimes we get caught up in what we want right now from the door that we're knocking on, where we don't check any of the other doors. We don't check any of the other options. Sometimes we'll just sit in front of the door, and then we may be missing out on some of the other possibilities because we aren't curious enough to walk down the hall and see what else is out there and explore a little bit. Sort of like, do you want to stay at the restaurant and wait for an hour, or do you just want to walk over to the store next door or maybe a few doors down and just explore a little bit, window shop a little bit, see what you might find, and then you find something that you really wanted was on sale. Pleasant surprise, adjacent possibilities. What I'm telling you is, regardless of the wait, you have the victory. They're not saying that they won't seat you at the table. They're just saying, "We're full for right now. Give us a moment so we can free up space. And then you can come back and get your cheesecake. You can come back and get your spaghetti dish. You can come back and get the soup and salad all you can eat. Because you have the victory." That's what the universe is trying to tell you. You have the victory. You may be waiting on things, but you have the victory. But you know what? While you're waiting on things, why don't you check the possibilities in other things? Why don't you knock on a few doors while that door is waiting to open? Just knock on a few other doors just for kicks and see what you may come across. Because the power is in your hand with the Magician. With this is saying you have everything you need. And something just said to me, you have everything you need to make something happen no matter what door you knock on. That's what something just said to me. You have the ability and the power to make anything and everything happen no matter what door you knock on. Because there's stability and security. Because that's what this card stands for, stability and security. So with that, some of you may be thinking things aren't as secure as you would like for them to be. This card is saying that's okay as long as you keep the faith. Things will balance out over time. This card is saying, and while you're waiting for things to balance out, don't forget to explore. Don't forget to not just explore the world, but explore your talents. Dig deep down inside and see what other talents you may be capable of. You might surprise yourself. Because the universe is saying, I've already given you the victory. And that is your message. Until next time, be blessed.